We work with people with depression, anxiety, panic, phobia, PTSD and OCD. So there'll be the problems that those difficulties are causing, but quite often people will have a number of problems within their lives as well.
I had a problem with depression. I've had it from a very early age, and that tended to hit in the winter months and got to the stage where it actually affected the work situation where I was, and I withdrew to the extent that I was pretty much a hermit.
Quite a few things were going wrong within our family. We were having quite a lot of bad luck, and things started to build up quite a lot, and having always been quite a coper, I suddenly found myself really overwhelmed with all these stresses.
Often when we feel very low or we feel very anxious about our situation, our life, we can get into these quite unhelpful patterns of thinking, certain thinking styles which can cause us problems in the long term. We can also get into quite unhelpful patterns of things we're doing which sometimes in the short term help us cope, but long term can cause us more problems.
Cognitive behavioural therapy looks at our cognitions, our thoughts and our behaviour, and it recognises that sometimes the things that we're doing, the way that we're thinking, activities that we might be avoiding or withdrawing from become part of the problem. So it's a very practical therapy and it's based in the here and now.
So CBT works on the idea that if you can try and change the way you might think about situations and change what you might do in those situations, it can actually help improve your mood.
We work within groups and classes. We also do one-to-one work with patients. We use what's called guided self-help, so using a range of self-help materials with support from a worker. And we also use computerised CBT, so accessing CBT strategies online as part of a programme.
So I was recently working with a woman in her 50s, and when she came to the service about a year ago, she was feeling incredibly low, incredibly anxious about leaving the house, to go on buses, to go on trains, to be out in public places. And we worked together on a weekly basis using CBT, and in those sessions we explored what were her fears, what were her thoughts about going out in the house, and her thoughts about getting on the bus and train, and what were some of the things she was doing that actually were unhelpful to her. So for example, by not going out the house, it's actually keeping her fears going. And by the end of our work together, she was going out to Oxford on the bus, going further afield on trains, going out with her husband for meals. And really, I guess, the take-home message from her was she was saying she was really living her life for the moment. She wasn't worrying about what was going to happen in the future or thinking about situations that happened in the past. She was really, I guess, living her life for now.
Once you start doing these exercises, you start to realise that your morale starts to boost, your actual self-esteem you start to look more at yourself, you start to see the problems for what they are, and you start to actually recover.
I feel really grateful that it was there, that she was really there when I needed somebody.
The treatment was non-judgmental, it was very down to earth in a sense, and very how should I say, caring caring to the person. So you didn't feel you were judged, and also you felt that there's possibility you could actually achieve something out of it. So there's that positive side of it.
My experience of TalkingSpace was a very positive one. It was very much something that was there at a very stressful time in my life. It provided me with so many useful tools and so much insight into what was going on, and yeah, I would definitely recommend it to somebody in a similar position.